Hi, I'm Vida. Welcome to the weekly news roundup. Let's take a look at our top story this week. Preah Sihanouk Labour Department reports decline in number of Chinese nationals in Sihanoukville. Hun Sen urges China to export urgent raw materials. Phnom Penh announces open bidding for capital waste management. Acleda Bank announces share rank from April public offering. Angkor entrance passes extended in to have the area's declining tourism. The departure of Chinese nationals from Sihanoukville following the ban on online gambling and amid fear of a novel coronavirus outbreak in the kingdom is becoming more apparent. Some Chinese-owned businesses have closed their doors. The Camera director of the Provincial Labour Department told Khmer Times on Monday that the department recorded only about 2,000 Chinese nationals with work permit live in the province. He said, quote, "There are at least 3 reasons behind Chinese nationals leaving Sihanoukville. The first is the ban on online gambling, the second is fear of a coronavirus outbreak, and the third is ongoing road construction projects that may have disturbed them." Mr. Camera added in 2019 there were 20,000 Chinese nationals who have work or business permits, but now there are only about 2,000. Mr. Camera said ongoing road constructions across the city have also prompted Chinese business owners to suspend operations. In November, the government approved to spend 294 million for the construction of roads in Sihanoukville. The project is ongoing. Kuchamran, governor of Preah Sihanouk province, said 73 casinos running online and arcade gambling operations were forced to shut down after the ban took effect. Prime Minister Hun Sen on Wednesday urged Chinese Ambassador Wang Wentien to look into exporting emergency raw materials to prevent job losses resulting from a disruption in garment factory operations. Some factories in the kingdom may be forced to temporarily suspend operation as a result of disruption in the export of raw materials from China due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Mr. Hun Sen, during an inauguration ceremony for a road on Tuesday, asked Mr. Wentien to figure out possible ways for transporting raw materials to the kingdom amid disruptions. Mr. Hun Sen said, quote, "I'm hoping Ambassador Wang Wentien will coordinate with the Chinese government to send the raw materials by ship, and I think that my Chinese friends can do this. Cambodia will try to assist in this case also. If some materials need to be transported by plane, and since Chinese have a lot of planes, we should be prepared to make that happen to save the workers affected by temporarily garment factory closure in Cambodia." The Garment Manufacturers Association of Cambodia said earlier this month more than 60% of raw materials used in garment and textile factories are imported from China. GMAC said many suppliers in China are temporarily halting production and it affects local factories. According to the Labor Ministry, about 7,000 workers will face layoff if the delivery does not materialize. If the shortage drags on, about 90,000 workers will be suspended at the end of March. City Hall has announced the beginning of an open tender process for companies interested in addressing Phnom Penh waste problems after Sintri. The company held a rubbish collection monopoly in the capital for about 2 decades before losing its license in December for failing to meet its obligations. City Hall said in a statement issued on Tuesday it is inviting companies to participate in its pre-qualification stage for the tender, a stage that will run until March 31. City Hall said, quote, "It is expected that bid invitation will be issued in late April to applicants who have met all requirements specified in the pre-qualification document." According to local media, City Hall is managing rubbish collection in Phnom Penh until new contractors can take over the responsibility. City Hall on February 8 handed 40 vehicles over to 6 districts in Phnom Penh to have rubbish collection until the tender process is complete. Prime Minister Hun Sen in October said the government will eventually divide the city into collection zones, assigning one waste collection company to each. He added companies will be chosen through the public bidding process, noting that it has to be transparent. He also said Sintri is welcome to apply. Environment Ministry spokesman Ned Petra said the ministry expects many companies will compete to collect rubbish in Phnom Penh. He said Phnom Penh produces 3,000 tons of rubbish per day, consisting of 65% organic waste and the rest is plastic and solid waste. On to the business, Acleda Bank has announced that it is planning to issue more than 21 million shares to the public, about 5% of the bank's total of nearly 440 million shares. The initial approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission of Cambodia for the bank's initial public offering came Tuesday with a final approval set for March 20, according to Ma Amra, Group Chief Financial Officer at the bank. Mr. Amra said, quote, "This initial approval has allowed the bank to officially carry out its book building process, which will start from March 3rd to 14th and will allow the bank to invite all public investors to bid on the share price within the given price range between 15,000 Riel to 17,400 Riels per share. The final offering price will be determined based on the bids submitted during the book building period. A subscription process will then follow, allowing public investors to subscribe to the bank shares at the final IPO price from March 23 to April 4. The bank is then expected to be listed on the local bourse for April 27. Bank President Anjani said, quote, "Acleda Bank will serve as a role model for other banks in the banking and financial sector that are looking to raise capital through the use of Cambodian capital market." He said the proceeds from the IPO will be used to improve the digital banking services of the bank as well as for the general corporate purposes, while it is aiming to be a leading regional digital bank. If you have never seen the kingdom majestic Angkor Wat in person, now is the perfect time to go. To cope the slowdown of foreign tourist arrivals in the Siem Reap province, the government has decided to increase the number of days that visitors can enter Angkor Archaeological Park with entrance passes. The announcement from the Ministry of Finance issued Tuesday stated that the move was made amid the outbreak of COVID-19, causing foreign tourists to suspend or cancel their tours, particularly Chinese tourists. The ministry said those who buy single-day entrance passes can visit the World Heritage Site. With a 7-day entrance pass, foreign tourists can now visit up to 10 days. This has been implicated to promote the tourism sector and to attract more foreign tourists. The tourism sector in the region is currently affected by the outbreak of COVID-19. The changes will remain effective until June 25 this year, according to the ministry announcement. Additionally, Angkor Enterprise called for cooperation with tour operators and travel agents to spread the new announcement to tourists in their tour packages. The adjustment to the passes comes amid the government decision in helping hotels and guest houses in the province through a tax exemption from now until May. The measurement is also to facilitate businesses that are losing visitors because of COVID-19. That is all for this week. Join us again next time for another edition of the Weekly News Roundup. If you find this segment informative, please hit the like button and share this with your friends. As always, on behalf of the team, I'm Vida. Have a good weekend.